let's move into our starts and sits of the week really quickly because we've run out of time. We had to do extra matchups today because we ran out of time on our last podcast.
Yep.
So I'll do my starts of the week at quarterback and my sit of the week at quarterback. So Dak Prescott against Philadelphia.
Okay.
They've given up a lot of fantasy points to quarterbacks. They have been over the last 2, 3, 4 weeks very porous, and they've lost a lot of members of their secondary to injury. So I would start Dak. If there's any week Dak is going to be good, the next 2 games for Dak Prescott, he has Philly, bye week, Giants. Philly and Giants, great matchups. The rest of the season is garbage. So you're going to get these are the last 2 weeks that I feel like Dak is a startable asset for your fantasy team. And a lot of people are going to be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And so I'm going to start Dak against Philly. Teddy Bridgewater against Chicago. This is probably the toughest matchup he's going to face of his starting tenure. He's like 1 or 2 weeks away from Drew Brees coming back. So I would sit Bridgewater this week against Chicago just because of the difficult matchup.
Yeah.
Who are your starts at quarterback and your sit?
For me, I'm starting Josh Allen this week. He's playing the Miami Dolphins.
Well, that's real easy.
Yeah, which we know
they give up the number 1 most fantasy points.
Yeah, I think people. He's not only the start of the week. I think he's going to finish in the top 3 for fantasy quarterbacks. I think that might be a hot take, but
okay.
I think he's going to have
the start of Josh Allen.
He's going to have a
ascension.
Monster week this week. I hope I get that right. I think Phillip Rivers is a sit this week.
Okay.
He's been so up and down this week.
I was thinking about that too.
He's still owned in a lot of leagues. He's still getting started in a lot of leagues. But just like the way he's played, especially the last 2 weeks, has not been good. And the Tennessee Titans, believe it or not, has been a pretty good defense this year. They're always under the radar of having actually a pretty solid defense.
Who?
The Titans.
Oh, yeah.
Like every year, they're like, oh, it's just the Titans.
This year it's been more recognized.
Yeah, so they do have a solid defense. So I'm not starting Phillip Rivers this week.
Okay. My start of the week at running back, Philip Lindsay /
Oh!
Royce Freeman.
Oh.
So
I was going to give you credit.
So, you want to know what? Last week, Philip Lindsay had 29 snaps and Royce Freeman had 38 snaps. So you can take your Philip Lindsay love and suck it.
Okay.
I don't like Philip Lindsay.
Who would have thought?
But anyway, against Kansas City, I think Philip Lindsay and Royce Freeman on Thursday Night Football are both good plays. If you need a good flex, Royce Freeman is a good play. And then the only reason why I say this is because Philip Lindsay and Royce Freeman are basically getting, when you go back and you look at the first 6 weeks of the season, Philip Lindsay and Royce Freeman are basically getting the same amount of they're getting the same amount of touches. So it's like, yes, Philip Lindsay has had 2 bigger gains, but that's because he scored the touchdowns. Royce Freeman, on the other hand, a lot of people would be like, well, for Philip Lindsay, he's getting more red zone work. Royce Freeman has had red zone touches in every single game this year. So at some point, Royce Freeman will capitalize on those opportunities. He's the better pass catcher of the 2, but I feel like both of them are a great start this week, and I don't think either one of them you can look at and go, oh, this guy completely blows. So I would start both against Kansas City. And then my sit of the week at running back is Austin Ekeler against Tennessee. I would sit Ekeler. I might even sit Melvin Gordon.
Oh, that's a hot
against Tennessee. I don't like either running back in this situation, but I would sit. I didn't put him on the list, so I didn't take that. I would consider it with Melvin Gordon. No, Austin Ekeler is a sit this week.
Okay. For me, the start of the week is actually Matt Breida. For me at running back.
Not Tevin Coleman?
No, it's not Tevin Coleman.
Why?
I'll do Matt Breida / Tevin Coleman.
Okay, good. All right.
Because I think
I was like, what?
I just said Matt Breida because it was the first
Coleman?
name. Yeah, I think both those guys are going to have monster weeks this week against Washington. I see the 49ers taking a lead early and just, playing 49ers football this year, which is defense and running the ball. And the way the 49ers have ran the ball as a team this year has been fantastic.
Right.
And the Redskins ranked 28th against the run, so not good. And then for my sit, he's burned me. And even when he's done good, I haven't liked it. It's Sony Michel. Sony's my sit this week. He's just, like last week, for example, I said to start him. And if you ignored the final drive of the game where he had 5 carries for 30 yards, he would have had 7 fantasy points. He's just been consistently average all year.
Yeah.
And I think against the Jets, I think he's really only succeeded in times where it's been blowouts. So this week against the Jets, I don't think it's going to be a major blowout.
Yeah.
So I don't see Sony doing much this week, even though he's probably in your lineup.
Let's move to our starts and sits for wide receivers. I'm going to say start of the week, Brandin Cooks. He has one of his boom games against Atlanta. He is in Atlanta, so at Atlanta, that makes me slightly nervous. But I do think it's going to be a good week for Brandin Cooks. And then my sit of the week at wide receiver is disagreeing with you.
Okay.
It's DJ Chark.
Yeah. So why? Tell me quickly.
So
we won't get into this too much. But.
We won't get into it too much. Give me 1 second. I have a reasoning.
I'll say my start of the week.
Stay yours, and then I'll
DJ Chark. Now I kind of know the.
It's like DJ Chark.
I think I know why you're gonna say he's the sit of the week because I see a number in front of me.
Yes. So through the first 7 weeks of the fantasy season, the Cincinnati Bengals have given up the 29th.
Yeah.
Most fantasy points to wide receivers, and they've played 6 straight weeks. So,
I feel like. So can I just make? I'll just make a counter to that.
Okay.
I think. I think it's because the Bengals have been getting killed so badly that teams don't even bother throwing the football, which is why also their pass defense hasn't been great either. In general, I think it's like 16th.
I mean, they lost by 4 to the Bills. They lost by a lot to the Steelers. They lost by 3 to the Cardinals.
That one I'll give you.
They lost by 6 to the Ravens.
That was a controlled game. That's like a lot. Other than the Cardinals game, they were all in hand the whole time.
But does that tell you that, like, see, here's my other point to that argument that DJ. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but they're going to force feed the ball to Leonard Fournette in this game.
I think they will,
and they're going to control it. They're going to control the pace of the game.
I also looked at it like this too, where I think Gardner Minshew is going to have a bounce back week, where he was very bad last week, and because of that, Chark was too. But other than last week, Chark has been very good this year in all the games that Minshew's gotten like 17 to 20 points, and fantasy wise. So I think Minshew's probably going to do that again this week.
Take that as you will. I'll say sit him. Okay. He says start him. And we'll come back to this and find out who really won that.
If Chark burns me this week, I'm done with you.
Who's your sit? Who's your sit at wide receiver?
It's Allen Robinson. Okay. I just think it's a tough matchup. He's going to go up against Marshawn Lattimore, and I know Trubisky's back, but yippee-ki-yay.
Yippee-ki-yay. My start of the week is at tight end is Zach Ertz against Dallas. I talked about him a little bit earlier. I feel like this is the game. Zach Ertz comes out, and he gets back to Zach Ertz like play. And I could be very wrong, but hey. And then my sit of the week, TJ Hockenson against Minnesota.
Why do you hate on my Hawk, dude?
I don't hate on the Hawk. The Hawk is average so far this year.
Dude, he got down at the 1 yard line this past week. He almost scored.
He's the king of dropping balls at the end zone. The end zone.
He's gonna be. I think he's gonna be very good next year.
Like
and
next
years
year
to come. But this
he's
year,
like a sneaky guy. He's gonna get drafted. He's going to be on the drafted way too high list next year.
Oh, yeah, probably.
But I'll sit TJ Hockenson against Minnesota.
Okay, my start is Darren Waller, actually, this week. Titans, your guy.
Let's go, Waller.
I think he's going to have a bounce-back week, and then...
Well, he didn't play last week, so...
Well, but the week before that, he had 5 fantasy points.
It's going to be a great bounce-back. 0 points.
The last game he played, he didn't do good.
Yeah, they lost. The game script was lost on that.
Right, which is why I think people might panic and be like, yeah he's really not that good, actually.
They were, like, blowing out the Bears in, like, London.
Yeah. London games are so weird. And then my sit is Jared Cook. People have been getting high on him lately. He's had 2 straight weeks with double-digit fantasy points. He's back, baby. No, not this week.
Stop.
I'm not playing him.